We got Brian Gundy back on the show. That's how you kick off a new year. If you don't know who I'm talking about, you should, and I genuinely mean that. Stick around. This is the second time on the show, but the very first time was one of my favorite episodes ever. I'll just tell you, we ended up talking about racing pigeons with, mafiosos at some point way back in the distant past. It's not my experience. That was Brian's. So he does a little bit with snakes too, let's just say. Stick around. Thanks for being here. We got a great show. Let's get to it. I'm going to hit the video here. Here we go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy New Year to you. I hope that your festivities and holiday season were a wild success, and maybe you're getting back to normal life, or you've just started. I don't know about you. Like, Monday felt like a Monday after holidays, and then today here in Minnesota, we were covered in ice, and they don't cancel school for much, but they canceled school for ice today. So, that's a terrible joke and pun too. Let's not go down that road. I don't need the headache of that. Anyway, school was canceled today was my point, and that threw off some routines. But routine you can count on. It's Tuesday night. We got a show for you. Brian Gundy from Snakes for the Memories. No, for Goodness Snakes, not Snakes for the Memories, a different pun. For Goodness Snakes. Is here, and we got a lot to get to. Brian's a legend in the industry, one of the kindest people I've ever met in the industry, and well established long before us pretenders all wanted to have YouTube channels and be influencers. Brian was amassing 15,000 followers on YouTube. There you go. Think that one over for a little bit. So anyway, Brian will be on in just a moment. Couple quick announcements for you. One that I'm just so happy to announce and share with you, other than their goofy name. Jeremy Bod, Steve Casino, Dale Richards, Miguel from Perfectly Engineered Reptiles, and Justin from Morph Jungle are going to start a monthly, once a month. I think it's once a month. They might have changed it. Doesn't matter how often they do it. A regular get together hangout with the 5 of them. And they start this Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. They have their own YouTube channel. It's not on any of their individual brands. It's on a brand new YouTube channel called, let me get this right, 5 Guys and Their Balls. That's what they've gone with for the name on here. The number 5 Guys and Their Balls this Friday night, 7 p.m. All joking aside about their name, that group of guys, particularly Dale, Jeremy Bod, and Steve Casino, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be in this industry. I wouldn't know what I was doing, getting started vending. Any of that, man. I own snakes from those guys, like really, really important mentors and friends to me. And Miguel and Justin have been awesome as well. We became friends along the way. All of those guys are just fantastic guys from the Florida circuit that I've known since sometime in mid 2021 when I moved to Florida, and they all, welcomed me with open arms. So I couldn't be more happy and proud to encourage you to go check them out. You'll have a good time. You might learn something if they could stay focused, which I say lovingly because they have such a good time. But those are excellent guys and kind of hold a nostalgic place in my heart. So go check them out. Okay. Myself, I've been on a little bit of a hiatus from vending just because of how the schedule went. But January 25th, I'll be trying it. I'm slacking. It actually sold out. I think I'll figure out a way into the Des Moines show in Des Moines, Iowa, January 25th. Then January 31st, I'll be over in La Crosse, Wisconsin. And then February 8th, I'm going to try a new market. There's been some odd scheduling challenges here in the Minnesota immediate area and some of the other shows. But I'm going to try a new market, which is Madison, Wisconsin, all the way over towards the Great Lake, I don't know, who cares about Midwest geography? I'm saying it like anybody follows it. Anyway, Madison, Wisconsin. If you're around, come check that show out. So Des Moines, La Crosse, Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin, 3 weeks in a row coming up, starting January 25th. So I'm looking forward to getting back to that. Before I forget, tonight's brought to you ad-free by Palm Street. You will never have to watch a commercial on Proper Royals live programming because of the support from Palm Street. And while I'm talking about it, if you needed to ship an animal tomorrow because the weather was nice and you wanted a reliable shipping partner, I would check out Redline Shipping is what I would do. Redline Shipping is also integrated with Palm Street. So if you buy or sell on Palm Street, you go right into the platform right there. Boom. You can get your labels, get them purchased, get them printed, get your animal shipped tomorrow whenever you want to get it shipped. So I think that's what I got going on for announcements. Please check out my YouTube. I've been kind of making a commitment to get back to some content creation, which is kind of the backbone of what got me here and what built this whole community to begin with. So I want to get back to that. And then also want to tell you, I have started, and the first episode is there in the Proper Royals Patreon. It's $7 a month to get access to the full library and to the group chat where there's like-minded kind of business-focused individuals. We have fun in there too, but it's really snake industry, business pairing, breeding, all of that driven. $7 a month. What a great investment just to learn from other people. I forget whether I have something to tell you or not. You join a group with 20, 30 people that are, like I say, similar minded and are going to know stuff that you're not going to know, and vice versa. But the other thing with it, I got a lot of questions about what I use AI for and how I implement AI, both in Proper Royals, the business, but in some of my other business ventures as well. Adventures, ventures, a little bit of both. And so I'm going to have a series this whole year. This 2026 will be the year of how I use AI. So the first episode of that is up, but we'd love to have you join us in the Proper Royals Patreon. There's a second tier, which is $35, and that money just converts to store credit, all of it. I pay the Patreon fees, $35. If you happen to like a project I'm working, you think you'll buy an animal in the future, you're going to get first dibs on it. And basically you'll already have a down payment or a full payment in the future. I've had some people stick around and take some serious snakes off my hands after a long time. So we'd love to have you. And it's a fun place to be. And it's a great place to learn and push yourself, chase goals and dreams and hold yourself accountable. So thanks, Brian Gundy. I first heard about Brian from another Brian named Brian Cusco. And, you know, it's kind of weird because you start hearing, when somebody's been around for so long, you start hearing so much, and this big, like almost imposing figure comes in your mind, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't ask. Maybe he doesn't want to hang out. Maybe he don't want to come, whatever. So it wasn't until the end of 2024 that I ever even spoke to Brian about coming on the show, and he was the easiest guy to hang out with. And then, like, here's a great example. If you look on his YouTube channel, like I said earlier, he's got 15,000 subscribers. If you look on his YouTube bio, it just says, "Hi, I'm Brian. Here's my cell phone number. Call me anytime." Literally, it's there. Like, that's how accessible. And you guys know I'm a big believer in being transparent and having a community and all of that. Like, I can't think of a better example of a person who's done that. So that's Brian. There's nothing more awkward than me talking about somebody that's in the green room listening and waiting to participate in the conversation. So help me welcome back to the Proper Royal stage, Mr. Brian Gundy. Brian, how you doing tonight?
All right, my friend. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm better now that you're on and we get to hang out and have a little bit of fun, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. First off, how are your holidays? Everything good?
Everything was great. Yeah. My son was visiting with his wife, and, they have a couple of dogs. So we took them up in the hills and let them run around. And so, yeah, that was good. And nice. I have a little announcement. My daughter just had her third child on the 5th.
Oh, congratulations. Yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. Everybody healthy? Mom and baby doing okay?
They're doing fantastic. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's
Oh, thanks.
fantastic.
I appreciate.
Do you have a baby's name yet, or maybe you don't want to
Yeah,
share that?
I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, and there's a place along the coast called Santa Cruz,
Yeah.
and it's very well known for the pier and the boardwalk and all that. So they actually named their son Cruz, and
Okay.
his middle name is Ocean,
Wow. Okay.
and they live in Austin, Texas right now, and in August they're actually moving to Sarasota, Florida.
Okay. All right.
Because they miss the ocean so much that they're literally just picking up everything and moving to another part of the country, but there's an ocean there, and
Yeah.
they just
Sarasota's lovely, but it's no ocean compared to Santa Cruz. I'll tell you
yeah.
It's
My son-in-law works from home. He can go anywhere.
Yep.
And he's into high-tech stuff, and he builds drones. He does a lot of things with drones for the government and all sorts of high-tech companies. And so he travels all over the world, and so he can work from home. And so that's where they've chosen. They love the weather, and they're sun worshipers, and they want their kids to be raised along in the water, and dealing, having water sports and swimming and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm all excited for them.
Very nice. And all joking about Sarasota side, it's a lovely place. Actually, it's blown up since I had been in Florida. But we were talking about in the green room playing music. I used to tour and play from there's a town just south of Sarasota called Punta Gorda that's right on the Gulf there.
Really?
And there's a pub that sits right on the water. And I used to play. It was called the Celtic Ray, actually. But I digress. So, well, congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks.
That's it's always great, and again, blessings to mom and baby. I'm glad everybody's healthy. So
yeah, everybody's great. Yeah,
good. So you were here on the show. I can't believe it's been this long, but October 2024. It doesn't feel like it was 15 months ago, right? Yeah. So how was 2025? Did you get any milestones, benchmarks, aha moments? You didn't quit. You're still here, so that's good.
Yeah, my focus is really on the Pied Clown project, and I'm just doing everything I can to bring as many gene traits into that project as I can. And I was able to just kind of continuously tweak in, and it's always about selective breeding with me. Quality is the number one issue, and so I've just been focusing on that project. And I'm a boutique, I guess what they call a boutique breeder.
Mm-hmm.
I probably in my heyday probably produced 35 clutches in a particular season, and but now I'm probably in the 8 to 12 clutches per year, but one of my focuses from the business side of things, from the financial side of things, is doing the educational programs.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, did that keep up steam in 2025, and you kept going on it?
Yeah, I just did a thing with my calendar the other day and counted up my programs and how much money I made and all this kind of stuff. And I did 249 programs last year.
Holy cow. I mean, that's literally 5 days a week, Brian.
Yeah. Sometimes 4 and 5 programs a day. And I'm booking programs right now for June and July. And it's going to, every year that I do this, it's just better and better. I do more programs every year. And, I'll be in a restaurant and people will come up to me and tell me, I did their son's birthday party 20 years ago.
Oh, whoa. Yeah.
It's just great. I'm loving it. I can't wait till I do my next program. I have a couple of weeks off, and then I'm going strong.
Great. How many, and I think we talked some on the last episode, so forgive me for forgetting some of the details. How many animals do you take with you at a typical one of these programs or sessions that you run?
Yeah, I only bring 7 animals.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do, assemblies at schools for 650 people.
Yeah.
A few years ago, I did Google's Christmas party
Oh, really?
for,
Nice.
for 750 people at the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco, and they just had a blast. And you were talking about my YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and I have 750 videos on YouTube. One of
Hmm.
those videos was of the Google Christmas party at the Fairmont Hotel, and it was just it was a blast. I think it was 3 hours of just nonstop having fun, you know. And it's funny, I do a lot of children's programs at, elementary schools and birthday parties and stuff, but it's really the adult programs that I do where it's so much fun to see, just, people just not knowing how to deal with these animals. And
I would.
I love to watch, especially adults, go from being totally scared of these animals to, at the end of the programs, just being just the opposite.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not to make a religious analogy, but like I bet with the adults, it's probably a more powerful experience when you get like a conversion, like somebody who's like,
Oh,
no way, and then by the end of it, they're holding. Is it a retic or a berm that you have? That's the
it's a
albino.
berm.
That's
I
oh
just
wow, it
deal
is a
with,
berm. Okay,
yeah, it is a berm. It's actually an albino pied berm. Beautiful animal.
that is a beautiful animal. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can like because like it's like a lot of things. Like kids don't know. They don't know to be scared. They don't know to
Yeah,
be freaked out. Kids are fearless, or most of them. But
they are. It's
adults,
amazing.
yeah,
Yeah,
adults, we talk ourselves into
it's the
dumb things.
adults that, in reality, in my opinion, have been brainwashed
Right.
to think that these animals are dangerous and aggressive, and I think they're just the opposite. Over about 50 to 70,000 people now have handled my animals, because at the end of my program, I don't just pack up the animals, I let them go, and everybody that wants to is running around with snakes wrapped around their shoulders, and they're just having a blast. And I imagine they just can't believe that they're actually holding on to a 10-foot Burmese, or a clown pied ball python or whatever. And I
Yeah.
bring a couple of lizards. I bring a blue tongue skink and a black and white tegu. So those kind of kick up the excitement a little bit too.
That's cool. Do you, I guess I'm full of religious analogies. Do you ever get
No,
any like baptisms, shall we say, like a berm when it's got to go, it's got to go, like what
oh,
do you,
I could tell you stories, Adam.
that's
That
what we're here for, man.
would not be something I want to share. But yeah,
Sure.
I've had, when they've got to go. I mean, it's not uncommon, especially for the lizards, as people are holding on to them, for those lizards to just let it loose.
They get
you know?
warm and comfy, relaxed. Yeah.
Yeah. And I always make a positive experience out of it. Some kid will get pooped on and his pants are all dirty and everything. And I'll say to him, just think of it. You're like the only person at your school that's ever been, pooped on by like
Right.
a 10-foot Burmese python or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so I always try to turn it into a positive experience. If you can do it, at least I try.
You have to try. I mean, and even vending, it's the same kind of, if
Of course,
it's
yeah.
gonna happen, you gotta figure some way to turn it
Oh, yeah.
around and make it positive, a positive moment.
Yeah. I always bring a brand new roll of paper towels,
Yep.
and that's the reason I bring them in. And if I'm doing a program and for some reason I have forgotten to bring a roll of paper towels, nobody knows it, but I go into this emotional panic
Right.
because
Yeah.
and oh no, what if we do have an accident?
Yeah. What's gonna happen here?
Well, yeah, but so yeah, it's one of the most important things that I bring is a roll of paper towels.
Yeah, I can imagine, especially with the big snake. Oof,
Oh,
I've vended next to a retic guy before, and it's like, oh my goodness,
yeah.
this is an experience here.
Yep. And I always bring a spray bottle of Carefresh,
Yep.
which is a laundry thing, and it makes everything smell good. So, I'll wipe down the table and then I'll spray Carefresh all over the table just to take that odor away. And
Yep.
now we can, go back to enjoying ourselves,
Yeah. That's a good idea to have something like that Carefresh or a
Oh,
Febreze or something. Yeah. I always
well,
have the
that's what I
paper
mean.
towels,
It's
but
Febreze. I'm sorry. It's not, it's Febreze.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Cause even vending at a snake show, I mean, it's bound to happen, but it's still nice to just
Oh yeah.
move the smell on,
It's the paper towels and the Febreze.
Yeah.
Those are the two most important things besides the animals,
Right. Yeah.
But because, when you do, I was counting the number of programs I did last year, and I did 249 programs. So when you're doing that quantity of programs, it's not, it's going to happen.
It is going to happen. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's,
And I am prepared.
well, and even as disappointed as I can imagine some people might be, like if you're dealing with animals, you could hold a dog and that's going to happen.
Exactly.
That comes with the territory.
I try to turn it into a positive experience. The kids will start to ew, whatever, and I'll just remind them that all animals go to the bathroom, and
right.
The main thing is that we have the tools to clean it up.
That's true. Yeah.
But so I kind of turn it into a, even an educational experience,
How long do you want to keep that going? I mean, that is 249. I don't think I would play 249 gigs a year, even as much as I love playing music. I mean, that's a lot. That's a pedal down.
Yeah. And to me, it is like a gig, because I'm getting in front of an audience.
That's right.
I'm there to educate them and entertain them. And as long as I can physically do it, I'm going to continue. I'm 73 now. I'll just continue. My guess is 5 to 6, 7 more years.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's, it's always like, we always hear these like catchphrases, like do what you love and you'll never have to work again, that kind of thing. But like, I mean, I'm not even, I don't want to get too specific or personal on but I mean, 249 events at X fee, that's a pretty good amount of income too. I mean, that's great. Why not do it? Right.
I've never made so much money in my life.
Good for you.
I'm swimming in it.
You're stuck with mandatory distributions. You still got money coming in. It's great, right?
My pocket, I always have cash on me, and I'm charging $500 a program now. That's minimum. So that's $500 an hour.
Yeah, you are swimming. That is I mean, that's not just flirting with six figures. That's well into 1.25, 1.5. Yeah, nice. No, good for you.
Yeah, it's just, and I have a blast. It's just the funnest experience I can ever imagine for me, because I get to watch everybody's expressions, not only the children, but if I do libraries, it's the mom and dad are there, grandma and grandpa are there. I do convalescent homes. I do, preschools. Yeah. So it's the whole gamut. And it's interesting because it's how I sell out my snakes almost every year.
I was just about to say that all matriculates down into, I mean, I was just joking to myself, you're the only breeder doing 8 to 12 clutches, making 6 figures and selling everything out, right? There's the answer right there, guys.
Yeah. When you think about someone living their dream, I am living my dream.
Congratulations.
I couldn't be happier. I couldn't have more fun. I can't wait to do the next program. I get to meet people and laugh with them. And it's just every aspect of what I do is just fun.
Good for you. I mean, that's something we can all dream for. And I mean, I'm sure the details would be different, but I'm sure all of us would have just said, yeah, I want to make a good living and have fun and, do it into my 70s because I'm happy with it. It's beautiful. Congratulations. I'm really happy for that. That is cool. I don't think we talked about this last time, but I'm actually intrigued by, can you talk about your early experience on YouTube? You started your channel in 2009, I think the research I did said.
Yeah.
That's going back a ways there. What was it like, and what was the inspiration at the time? What made you go, I need to focus on this? Or did you focus on it? Did you just stumble into it? How did
Oh
that
no,
happen?
I just thought, I was, I had a business. I was selling snakes, and I just thought, what a better way to sell snakes, and it really went from selling to educating,
Hmm.
because you'll notice a lot of my videos are teaching people how to pop, how to probe, how
Yeah.
to husbandry, and I remember years and years ago, I was breeding. I used to breed boas. I um, would probably produce about 8 or 10 litters a year or so. And back in the day when I first got started, I was breeding and selling colubrids, and I was producing about 350 colubrids a year, and
Okay.
you name it, I was producing it, from
Hmm.
mandarin rat snakes to corns to kings and 50/50s and durangos and Arizona mountain kings, and I just started um, educating, creating videos that would, rather than the keep secrets, I would actually tell everybody on YouTube what I did, because years ago I had a situation that happened where I called a breeder to find out if they would help me with some questions that I had. And at that time, it was about boas. And the person that I talked to said, "Well, I just noticed that you have not purchased animals from us in the past." And I said, "You're right, I haven't." And they said, "Well, we have a policy, excuse me, where we don't share information with anyone that hasn't purchased animals from us." And I thought, okay, well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time. I got off the phone and I made sort of a mental note to myself that never will I ever say that to anybody, because it hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
It wasn't who I am. I'm just the opposite. I have all of my secrets are on my YouTube videos.
Hmm. Well,
And so I just started going kind of crazy, and then I started sharing my herping experiences. If I'd go out in the field and catch some wild snakes, and then like I said, sharing my husbandry techniques and helping people that had questions to sort of be proactive in my information to them, so that they could refer back to my videos and get some information about what to do about mites and how to probe and how to pop, and so it just kind of evolved into a part of my business.
I, I think it's a great story, because I think we can all think of one time in our lives, maybe not even snake related, but where somebody made us feel that big and it just
Yeah.
stuck with us. And we said, you know what? Either I'm not going to do that, or I'm purposefully going to do something that's not, I mean, it might have just been a passive response for some of us, but I could think of times in my life where I just remember going, I will never be like you, pal. I
I
don't
would.
know how I'll be, but I will never be like you.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you say, you hang up the phone, or you walk away, or whatever you do. But what a dumb thing for a business too. I get it. If, say you're busy, or say, hey, come by the shop sometime, or do
Exactly.
something.
No, I
Yeah.
totally agree. So I just thought, I'm not going to be that person. I'm going to be the person that I am, and I'm going to share my experiences, and I'm going to share my expertise, if you will, and I'm going to take that guy that's scared to death about what to do with any kind of snake that he's working with. And because I've worked with boas and colubrids and ball
Mhm.
pythons, and so I have experiences in a lot of different areas of husbandry and breeding. And so I just have spent my focus has been and always will be, what can I do to help? You know.
Quick shout out to Chris Eaton. Speaking of people that have
Oh,
shared a whole lot and supported me a whole lot. And Chris is one of those people to me. Yeah, check out the Storyteller series episode, guys, over at the Fat Man Nation. So, Chris, thanks. You could. You're welcome to keep throwing money in the jar, but you don't have to throw money in the jar just to comment, man. I appreciate you, man. Thanks very much
he's
for
a great guy.
keeping the lights on.
He's a great guy. What good friend.
Yeah. So was there? I'm trying to think because I'm trying to think what existed in those days. So 09, Facebook would have just been getting going. YouTube would have been or Google would have been about 10 years old at that time, but YouTube would have only been 6 or 7 years. Stupid kids. I can't even say 6, 7 anymore. 6 or 7 years old at that time. What made that your platform of choice, or was there another platform that went defunct that you tried, or that just happened to work?
I hadn't been involved in social media at all,
Yeah.
before then. And I'm not a technical guy. I'm very, computer challenged in a lot of ways. And I found it pretty easy for me to go ahead and do a video on my camera, take the memory card and slip it into whatever, and then just download or upload, whatever the term is,
Sure.
videos. And I just started pumping them out.
Yeah. I know I'm not saying this about you. For myself, I enjoyed it almost even more when I didn't know anything, like when I didn't know about like keywords and search engine optimization and the supposed algorithms and all of that. Like I still go back to just like, I just want intriguing content, and the rest, the chips will fall where they're at, like
that's all French to me. And that's all and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, like I say, I think it's more fun. It was more fun when I didn't, and I still don't really know what I'm talking about. So, you talked about, well, we talked a lot about clown pies last time that you were on, but I saw a little bit, like a bit of a twinkle in your eye, like you got a new kind of fire lit or something. It feels like this year. What excites you about clown pies? And then what are you doing with it? Tell us about 2025 with the clown pies.
Sure. Well, what got me started in the Pie Clown project was, I don't know, 20 years ago or so. I was at a show where Dan and Colette Sutherland had just produced the first clown pie.
20 years ago, man. Okay.
Yeah, must have been 20. Yeah. And I haven't, mathematically figured it out, but that'd be my guess,
Sure.
And I thought, and I couldn't believe what I was looking at. Pie,
right.
When I was breeding and selling colubrids, I did that for about 10 or 12 years and was actually in the process of selling out that collection. And my goal was to get out of it. I was getting burnt out on breeding and selling snakes. And as I was selling out that collection, I saw a photograph. This was my first photograph that I saw of a pied ball python.
Yeah.
And this is close to 30 years ago, probably. Mm-hmm. And I thought, are you kidding
right.
me? A snake looks like that. And I thought, you know what? And I had made some decent money selling out my collection. So I just thought, you know what? I've got the cages. I know how to breed snakes. So I just thought, I'm going to take this money that I've made from selling out my colubrid collection and then just reinvesting into ball pythons. And that's how I just got started with that. And at the time I wasn't, dealing with a lot of money, but so, I would buy het pieds.
Right. Right.
A couple of males and 3 females. And I started, a lot of people at the time would just go out and buy a pied, but I didn't have that kind of money. So I just, took baby steps. I'd produce possible hets and then breed those to hold them back and breed those together and produce a pied, and then took the pied to, some possible hets. And then, through process of elimination, was able to find some hets in my collection and then just went from there. But going back to the original story, I had a pied at home. I had an adult pied. I had an adult female clown. So I just went home from this show. This was 20 years ago. And
You started that long ago on your own clown pies.
Oh yeah,
Wow. Okay.
I've never purchased a clown pie. All of my clown pies, all of my whole project originated here at my facility.
Yeah. Wow.
And so yeah, I started producing double hets. I'd hold back the double hets and then breed them together, and then it had some amazing odds. My first, my first double het to double het, I got and these were real young females. I got 3 eggs out of the first clutch. 1 egg went bad during incubation, so I ended up with two eggs. Those eggs hatched. One of the eggs was a male pied clown. The other egg was a female pied clown.
See, what is it? The 1 in 16, I think it is, on both of them.
And I had two eggs, and both of them came out pied clowns. And that just kind of in my mind, I thought, all right, this is I couldn't believe it.
You're like, this is easy. This is everybody should be doing this. Right?
Everybody must be able to do this, And so, yeah, I just started the project from there. And, 20 years later, it's still the focus of my projects. It's everything that I do is focused on the pied clown. Now, don't think that I'm not adding lots of genes in there, some co-dominant genes. But yeah, so right now I'm working on pied clowns that have 6 and 7 gene traits in them.
Yeah.
So that's really where I'm having a fun time. I'm not selling too many of those animals. I don't really put too many of them up for sale. I've always been my first customer. And, I like selling snakes, but I also love holding them back.
Yeah, I get that. And that's a hard part of the business. Do you, I don't want to put anybody on any,
go for it, Adam.
I don't want to put anybody on any pedestal or whatever, but lately I've been hearing, I don't know, it's just maybe the algorithms figured me out, but I've heard an interview with David Bowie, with Rick Rubin, and I forget some other musician type. And the theme was, I've never worried about the audience. And they're not saying it from a performative standpoint. They're saying it from a creative standpoint. They basically said, I've never tried to chase a hit. And the Bowie one was even saying, Bowie was even saying, I've never wanted to feel comfortable. If I was in a comfortable pop situation that was predictable, I got out of it. I wanted to be being creative, doing what I wanted to do, and slightly uncomfortable. And why I say all that is I get the sense you've never worried about, hey, what's going to be hot when I breed these? Is how talk a little bit about that whole thing. You kind of get where I'm going here.
Sure, I do. Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I wish years ago when the Desert Ghost Project started up that I had invested in that, because, nothing, how could anything be better looking than a Desert Ghost pied clown?
There's a strong argument for that. Yeah.
And so those are things that I've kind of looked back on and kind of second guessed myself. But, I am working with, a lot of Orange Dream stuff, a lot of fire. I even work with Pastel. I worked with Mark Bell's Pastel line, and I've been selective breeding that for years. And I hear people say that, they brown out, and I'm just wondering when my pastels are going to brown out. The Mark Bell line of pastels, in my opinion, has always been the best line.
I think at Pieds, people got to get over this anti-pastel thing. I was talking, I think it was with Wilma Rose, but I mean, if I brought somebody into my facility that knew nothing about ball pythons and I showed them my pastel yellow belly female breeder, pied,
Uh-huh.
There's not a brighter, better looking snake. I mean,
Yeah.
just from I don't know anything like that will always pass the holy smokes, what is that test?
Yeah.
And like that to me is always the most important. Don't get me wrong. I would love to cash in on some, 5-figure snakes one day, but
Oh, sure.
when it comes down to just what looks good and doesn't, and stands the test of time, I have a hard time saying anything against, like I say, that pastel yellow belly girl, pied girl,
Oh, yeah. Oh, I get it. And by the way, I just wanted to commend you on your Ultramel clown project.
Oh, thank you so much.
Just when I was watching your video the other day, and I thought, are you kidding me?
Thank you.
Those are amazing.
You got to fall in love with it, right? It's actually, let's talk about this because it's kind of funny. We hear this advice, or I do anyway. You got to pick your lane. You got to plan what's going to happen, and you got to stick with your plan.
Yeah.
What does Mike Tyson say? Everybody's got a plan to get punched in the chin. Like those Ultramel clowns. I was like, okay, forget the other plans. We're going that way. Like you don't know what you're going to fall in love with sometimes. Like they're phenomenal. Now it's like
amazing. Some of the most beautiful snakes I've ever seen were those 3 that you showed the other day. Thank you. Amazing.
And those are the base. One of them had pinstripe, and that was it. The other 2 were just now the variation of the Ultramel is incredible too. That was what I found in there.
Yeah,
but,
I saw that one female that you showed that looked like she might have some pastel in her or something else in there.
There's just too much action in there, and that's one, as I said in the video, I acquired. Now I do know where she came from, and I'm the producer, and then I'm the second owner after the producer, but I know the producer. So actually I need to go back to him and say either what's in there or what were you working with in that era? And let me check it out.
Or just have a full panel done on a shed test.
That's it. But I got to jump in line, maybe sometimes I can't do the 1 in 16 odds on a head-to-head, double head-to-head, Thank you for the compliment, guys. If you want to check out that video, it's on YouTube. That's a full video. And actually I just put a short clip of those 3. Thank you.
I was drooling. Beautiful.
That might be the best compliment I've ever gotten. I appreciate it. What for people that are interested in the Clown Pied project, what gene you said you're mixing like 6 or 7 genes in there. What is getting you going these days? What's keeping you excited after 20 years that you're still excited? I think you brought some over. Yeah.
I have an acrylic pillar sitting right next to me with some of my animals in it.
Let me get you on the big screen. 1 second there.
Sure.
Brian. There's some other buttons. That's not the one. Okay, now we're getting there. Wrong person. There you are. Okay.
So and I don't know if you guys can see. Here, let me see if I can show you the head. This is a Pastel Fire, Orange Dream, Yellow Belly, Enchi pied. So there's like 6 in here. Not head for anything.
Okay.
But I guarantee you that she will be a part of that project that will then take the Pied Clown project to the next level.
Right.
And her dad right now is a Pastel Fire, Yellow Belly, Enchi pied. And he's been locking up to my pied clowns and my clowns.
Okay.
And when I say pied clowns, most of them are pastel leopard pied clowns. But this is just, this snake is on fire. It's just, and again, there's pastel in this too.
Yep.
But again, there's Orange Dream, there's Yellow Belly, there's Enchi, and that head is just
super high contrast and clean.
Look at that.
How old's that girl? About a year?
About a year, yeah.
About a year, yep.
Yeah, maybe 6 to 8 months, yeah.
Okay. Like yeah, holding the color, beautiful though.
Oh, she is, yeah.
Yep.
And so yeah, it's all about just adding, layering in gene traits into the Pied Clown project. And I'm going in different directions. I'm working with GHI into the Pie Clown project and Mystic. Yeah. And even my gold blush stuff I'm putting into the Pie Clown project now. So
Did you say gold blush?
gold blush, it's a
What?
gene trait that I originated
Really?
about 20 years ago. I just through breeding the project, I established it as being at least a dominant. It might be a codominant. And yeah, it's a gene trait that I have in pretty much infiltrated into my whole collection. It was a a normal looking ball python that people used to go crazy over. And originally I just thought it was a normal looking ball python. And when I started breeding it to different gene traits, it would just, it works as an enhancer.
I see.
It was just a normal, it's like, it looks like a special or a yellow belly. It's just, excuse me, it's just a normal looking ball python, but there are different visual traits that you can identify it, and they're reproducible. And that's when I started thinking, okay, maybe I have a different gene trait going here.
Right.
And a lot of people would ask for them, and they would say, do you have any more of those snakes that have a lot of blushing, that have a lot of gold into them? So I just started calling them gold blush, and I've been working with it for years.
Wow. When did you decide, like, how long ago was it that you were like, okay, I got something and I've proven this at least to myself, whether anybody else does it?
20 years or so.
Really? Really? Okay. That's been a while then.
Yeah.
What do you find that it brings to pieds? Is there a benefit in the pieds that you find?
I'm just now bringing it into the Pied Clown project. So,
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. It hasn't been something that I've really focused on. It's just sort of a peripheral gene trait that I've had on the side. It's not something that I've really focused on, even though I do have it in my collection. It's just been a little toy that I've kind of worked with, a little, sidekick thing. But yeah, I'm working it into the Pied Clown project.
Excellent. Excellent. You mentioned at least one other recessive at being DG, and I can't remember if there was another. Do you ever see yourself trying to bring a third and a triple visual in?
Yeah, I gotta say, when I was looking at your Ultramel stuff the other day, I thought, you know what? I got Pied Clown females and I've got an Ultramel male.
There you go.
And I thought, I'm going for it, because I was so impressed with your snakes that I thought, let's go. And because I'm 73, I'm kind of at the end of my journey here, and I haven't really been focusing on triple hets.
Right.
But I thought, you know what, if I can produce a Ultramel Pied Clown and mixed in with a bunch of other gene traits, how beautiful that snake would be,
I mean, just with the one that you just showed, that an Ultramel would be unbelievable. It'd be just fire, complete fire.
Yeah. So that's the direction I'm starting to go. And, a lot of Orange Dream stuff. I love how Orange Dream really brightens things up. And I wish I had gotten into the Desert Ghost adventure many years ago, but I haven't. And so that's one of the things I'm kind of kicking myself for. But again, at 73, how many more years am I going to be either around or breeding snakes,
Right.
And so again, I'm not at the beginning of my journey. I'm at the end of it. So you have to think about that, when you start working with triple hets or even quads, it could be a 5 to 10 year project.
Oh, yeah, it could be a lifetime. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm starting late with the triples, but again, after seeing yours the other day, I thought, you know what, I would be, an idiot not to incorporate going into the triple het side of things.
Well, if I can ever help speed it up, or I have an ingredient that will speed it up, you let me know. It'd be an honor to either
Oh,
work with you or just send you one, man. I don't
oh,
care.
thanks,
That'd
bud.
be
I sure
fine.
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I mean it. That'd be great. Um, what do you, I mean, you kind of touched on it here, and it's not really my place to ask these sorts of questions. I don't mean, but you brought it up, but like, what does, what does an exit plan look like? Not from this planet, but from the hobby and from that world of snakes. What are there contingencies for where these snakes go? Or I don't know what your collection size is. Like, is there a,
I have
um,
about 100 ball pythons,
yeah,
and it's kind of sad, but I had a contingency plan set up. A good friend of mine, his name was Dave Calling. He's a Brazilian rainbow breeder, very high end Brazilian rainbow breeder. And we had, we had it all set up that if I were to pass or when I pass, he would, take my collection and keep what he wants, and then sell the rest, and either, keep half the money or give the money to my wife or my
right.
kids. And the sad part about it is about 2 months ago, he passed away.
Oh my goodness. My condolences. I'm sorry.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
friend, good guy. And so I'm not sure at this point in time.
Yeah.
I've got a few thoughts going, but I haven't really, contacted anyone to take over the business. The side of my business where I'm actually doing the educational programs, that would be an easy thing, just stop doing them.
Well, yeah. Right.
But when you're dealing with 100 animals, there's a little bit more to it than that.
Yeah, a little more specialization. And and thank you for sharing that. As I listen, it really doesn't matter. It's not really an age related question. It's easy when it's age related. But the fact is, like, I think about sometimes, like, what a burden it would be to my wife if I didn't,
Oh,
like, if,
well,
if I
that's
got, if I get hit by a semi truck on the way home from the facility, God forbid, like, she's gonna have enough problems on her hands. She doesn't need 300 ball pythons in a car wash. Like,
yeah,
I kind of need to have I need to get my act together on that a little
yeah.
bit too,
And here I am again at the end of my adventure here. um, I've got to start being more aggressive with that thought process. There's
Mm,
just no question, because
yeah.
that's the last thing I want to do. And my wife doesn't even like snakes.
I think mine's patient, but yeah,
No,
she has no desire to go hang out with those
no,
snakes one bit. Not much less scrape their poop or anything else.
no.
God forbid she had to answer to the rodent section of the
Oh,
operation. So that, yeah.
and that's what I was doing just before I came onto your podcast was, I was cleaning rat cages.
Oh,
So
do
yeah,
you still breed your own rodents too?
of course, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. What's well, you're in California, maybe you can't say, but what's your rodent of choice? Any preference?
Oh, it's all rats with
All
me.
rats for you? Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
we can't have soft furs out
Yeah, the
here.
ASFs. That's why I phrased it that way. I know some people maybe might know a guy that have some if they wanted
Yeah,
to get some, right? Is that how we say it?
yeah, that's a good way to say it.
Hypothetically, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
have any, and I'm just producing rats, a few mice, sometimes to get some finicky eaters started.
right.
But 99.9, well, I would say 100% of my ball pythons are eating rats
Yeah, yeah.
live. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I breed ASFs, but I also feed frozen rats. So,
Okay.
and I switch mine back and forth anytime I hear this, oh, they get hooked on ASFs. I just kind of roll my eyes. I'm like, come to the shop. We'll feed it one week. The next week I'll feed it a frozen rat and it'll be just fine.
Oh,
So,
sure. Yeah.
did you have any other clown pie? Did you have more than one or just
Oh,
one to
yeah.
show off?
Sure,
Yeah. What
sure.
else you got? They get you going there.
Let's see here. Here is a really nice one I just produced. Now, there's a funny story with this one. This is a female pie clown. And I honestly, in fact, I've got a shed test in a Ziploc plastic bag just waiting to be sent in.
Oh, you've
But
entered the world. I didn't know if you had entered the world of shed tests or not.
oh
I
yeah,
didn't mean to cut you off. What are you going to be testing for on her?
so it's going to be a full panel because
Okay.
I just don't know. But this is a real pretty little female with some very soft. Oh, there we go. Some very soft saddles on her,
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
and her head is just there's a lot of color. Let's see here. There we go. And so what happened was I have my incubator in my office right here, and I'm in my office now.
God, I saw it behind you there. Yeah.
And when I was transferring the eggs from my snake room, which is outside, it's a standalone building. It's 10 feet wide by 22 feet long. And on my way into my office, I dropped the card that showed the history of her breeding. Well, I have a 1.5-year-old English cream golden retriever that eats anything and everything. So I get into my office and start putting the eggs in the incubator, and I can't find the history card, and my dog ate it.
Oh.
So so here's a beautiful snake that I produced that I don't know what its what its background is. And I'm in the process of having a full panel done on this girl.
There you go. She looks great though.
She's pretty.
Yeah, just to play.
And let me show you a couple others.
Please do. Yeah.
So again, I was telling you, I'm kind of into the orange dream stuff.
Yep.
So here is a female orange dream pied clown, and you can see how pretty she is.
Mm-hmm.
She's about 1.5 years old. Let's see, here we go. And again, I'm just continually taking the Pie Clown project to another level, to the next level.
Yep.
And we'll then, take this and breed it to something that's got a lot of gene traits in it. And now I'm starting to focus more on the excuse me, the mystic side of things and the GHI side of things. So we'll see how that goes. Here's a real pretty pastel orange dream pied clown.
That's a nice combo, and the coloring and I like, for me, I like that balance of a light color and pieds like that.
Yeah. And you can, the head is just beautiful. And you'd think by looking at this, the pattern looks like it might be some yellow belly in there.
Right. Yeah.
There's
with the
no
pixelation. No yellow belly, huh? Yeah.
There's no yellow belly at all. Pastel, leopard, pie clown.
Ah, very nice. Orange dream in that one too, or not?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yep.
And then again, another direction I'm going, I mentioned the GHI stuff. Here is, and this is going to take the project into a darker place.
Right.
But this is a pastel leopard GHI Mojave het for clown pashet pied.
Nice. That pastel actually breaks up that GHI leopard Mojave can just kind of end up with just a stripe sometimes. A pastel breaks it up nicely, brings a pattern back, huh?
And again, as I mentioned, those gene traits, I'm just guessing on them.
I mean,
So
I
haven't shed tested this guy. I might be pleasantly surprised or not, but that's the my preliminary guess is that it's GHI leopard Mojave, and it might even be a super pastel because of that, that head. Let's see here.
Oh yeah, the super washed out there. I see.
Exactly.
Yeah. I would say of nearly anybody on this planet, if you said it has those genes, I'd be inclined to at least start there as a good place. Yeah.
And I'm just, going by the parents of the snake, So yeah, it's just, to me, I don't have enough time and enough space to really focus on a bunch of stuff. So I've just, spent the last 20 years or so just kind of narrowing things down.
I think the results are fantastic. And for those of y'all that missed the beginning of the show, there's a whole segment in there about a brilliant business plan that you can do just fine on, focusing on what you enjoy and going after that.
Mhm.
Brian, thanks for sharing those and pulling those for us. I appreciate that's
Of
an
course.
extra step of planning. Speaking of business plans, I got to pay some bills. If I could take about a 2-minute break, and then I was thinking, I wanted to give you a moment to think here. It's up to you if you want to, I don't know. But the last time you were on, you just had these fantastic stories. And I was thinking there had to be a time you got yourself into a pickle, or maybe you ran with some strange folks in the reptile industry over the past, couple decades. And maybe there's a hypothetical scenario you could tell us about that.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm just putting you on the spot.
I got a million of them.
I figured so. I thought so. All right, audience, stick around. Check out these sponsors of Brian. The last segment, we'll hear some stories from Brian.
Sounds good.
I told you guys about Redline shipping a little bit earlier today. Look, temperatures are fluctuating. There are ups and downs here in Minnesota. It's actually warm enough to ship right now. If you need to get an animal out immediately, go check out Redline Shipping. They have up-to-date information on temps, the equipment to ship them safely, and they have phone numbers that you can call and get guidance on that from reptile enthusiasts that are very experienced with both their animals and shipping. Use the promo code PROPER5 and get yourself $5 off your next shipping label. We have been talking about shed testing, which, if you're not familiar with, which I think everybody that watches the show probably is, but if you're not, shed testing saves you from having to go through what Brian was talking about, breeding hets, holding back possible hets, breeding them and hoping that they prove out. You can find out. You're going to keep less animals. You're going to be more efficient, and you're going to save yourself time. Mm-hmm. And Charlie at shedtesting.com, which is morphing into, no pun intended, into phenome.com. So you hear me use both of those websites, but go check those out. He's just lowered his prices. He's improved his efficiencies with the lab, as well as improved the automation so that less human hands have anything to do with this shed testing. So we're eliminating variables.
Adam, is Phenome.
What's up? Yeah, Phenome is, there you go. Brian Gundy's using Phenome. That's what you need to hear right there. Go check that out. You can use promo code PROPER10. Brian, you can use this too. Get yourself 10% off of an order of shed tests. You can order as many tests as you want in the order, and you can do that 2 times. So go check out phenome.com or shedtesting.com will get you there. Okay. Sundog Serpents, that's Sarah and Josh down in Florida. I've been working with them and friends and colleagues with them since 2021. I used to vend with Sarah on the Repticon circuit there in Florida. Great people to work with. And some of those Ultramels, not the Ultramel clowns, but the other Ultramel breeders that Brian was talking about in my video earlier, came from Sarah and Josh at Sundog Serpents. They're working TSK Xanthic, as well, and TSK Xanthic clown projects, as well as some puzzle projects that they have hatchlings for that are available right now, and some hypo stranger clown stuff as well. So please go check them out. Good friends, Sarah and Josh at Sundog Serpents. Reagan Renee, Royal Pythons. Let me get my list here for what he's got going on, because he's got a ton going on. Go to ReaganRenee.com. Check this out. When you go there, everything that he has for sale on ReaganRenee.com ships for free. There's all kinds of different ways to pay. He even has the buy now, pay later type of deal set up. I think it's through either Square or PayPal. Whoever it's through, that's on there as well. He's going to ship it for free. And if you use promo code PROPER10, you'll get 10% off as well there. That's Charlie Ryan. Also, he's in New Jersey. But he's also got this cool value add stuff that he works in. He works in heavy logistics and analytics in his day job, so to speak. And he's brought some of those analytics to some calculators that will calculate the value of shed testing. Should you shed test? Should you not? What's your potential and likely gain and return for doing that based on various outcomes? Similarly, with various pairings, he's venturing into this really analytical world. Those calculators are on reaganrenee.com, and it's free. It's all a value add. Just go check it out. That is Charlie at Reagan Renee, Royal Pythons. He's working Kryptons, DG, G-Stripe, Candy, Pied, Clown projects as well. So he's got ingredients for all of those, and single, double, triple, and quad ingredients as far as hets and stuff go. Keeper Kane is another YouTube video content creator. He keeps ball pythons, he keeps big snakes, he keeps aquatics, he keeps tarantulas. And the Keeper Kane channel is just kind of the story of Kane and his wife, Michelle, and their adventures keeping these animals. It's always family friendly. You don't have to worry about who you're playing it around. If you want to listen at work, always safe for you there. So go check out Keeper Kane. Kane's a good friend, and he's quite a character. He's always entertaining. So go check out Kane. Last but not least is B&S Reptilia. That is Chris Shelley, the original advertising partner of Proper Royals. He's been supporting me for 4 years, I guess now, maybe close to 5. I'm very thankful for that, but he's also become a friend, certainly a mentor. He's who I vend Tinley with in October. We own several animals together as far as investments we've made for the future. So he calls himself Reptilia, B&S Reptilia, because he breeds not only ball pythons, but blood pythons, locality boas, colubrids of all shapes and sizes, even Pituophis, the bull snakes and the pine snakes. If you're concerned about whether you need a certificate or license or anything in your state where you're at, he's got the knowledge and education as well as the paperwork to help you along with that. And if you want to see him in person, he'll have him in October at Tinley with me. March I've been by myself, but October he'll have him with me at the booth. So thank you to all of the advertisers. Guys, if you're looking for somebody to support in this industry, these are all people within the industry supporting the industry. They make content like this possible. They make it literally possible for me to keep the lights on every Tuesday night, coming into my 5th year doing this. And how cool is it that people like Brian Gundy are hanging out with us tonight too. So, Brian, thanks for being here. We're into the home stretch now. I felt bad. I heard you tell your wife you were going to be on a podcast for an hour. We're at like 70 minutes. You got 15 minutes left in you?
Anytime, all the time you want, bud.
Okay. All right, cool.
And,
so
before we go any further,
yes, sir.
I just want to say a few words about how impressive you have been for the last 4 or 5 years that you've been doing this.
Thank you.
It's been so interesting to watch how you personally have evolved. And we don't really know each other. We don't talk to each other, but your podcast is getting so clean. It's becoming next level as far as you're not stumbling with your words. You're being very clear. You're articulate. I just wanted to tell you how happy I am for you that you have found this and that you are, graduating to this next level on a continuous basis. So thanks for doing these. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that thinks that way, but I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a, way to go, bud.
Brian, thank you so much. It's really kind. There's a saying that I really believe in, and that you kind of have to have some thick skin in this game of social media and this world that we live in. And that saying is, if you don't respect the person, why would you care what they have to say? But if that's true, the complete opposite is true as well, as in, I respect you so much that your words mean so much to me. And thank you. That's really was a long way of me getting there, of saying I'm just flattered by that. Thank you very much.
Of course, my pleasure.
Thank you.
And I really mean that, Adam. You've come so far. You're doing so good.
Thank you very, very much. Last time we talked, You strike me as a person that is curious, that wouldn't mind finding your way into some fun situations that might turn sticky every now and again. I kind
Sure,
of
why
do
not?
that a little bit myself sometimes. My wife thinks I'm insane sometimes. You ever get in a weird situation, and either in the reptile world or whatever you want to, if you got a fun one to lay on us, what do you got?
Well, did I have I ever told you the story of when I got bit by a rattlesnake?
No. Okay, that'll work. Let's talk about that.
Okay. So here we go.
Here we go.
So this is about 40 years ago, maybe
Okay.
35. I was up in the hills up here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I was with two of my friends. I was the only snake guy. Both of them were bird watchers.
Hmm.
And so we're hiking through the woods, and I'm herping just on a natural, because that's what I do. And I see this rattlesnake traversing this little hillside. And I asked them, I said, hey, you guys want to see, you want to get a good close look at that thing? Oh, sure, that'd be great. And I said, okay, I'll go ahead and pick it up. I used to freehand
Hmm.
rattlesnakes back in the day. And so anyway, I broke a branch off of a tree. I created a little, fork in it
Hmm.
to pin the snake's head down. Well, the way I was situated on this hill, I couldn't pin its head down with my right hand, which I am right-handed. So I had to pin its head down. No, I pinned its head down with my right hand and then came in behind the head with my left hand.
I see. Yeah, which you typically control it with your dominant hand, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So as I'm now holding onto this 2 foot, 2.5 foot rattlesnake, had 6 buttons on its tail. And I'm thinking, okay, this is working. And all of a sudden, it just kind of started stiff arming me a little bit. And it took one of its fangs and maneuvered it by itself and buried it into my left index finger.
Whoa.
And not only buried it, but started gnawing on my finger as I'm holding on to it.
It's doing the milking
It's
thing that
doing
we
the
see, except right into your finger, huh?
it right into my left index finger. So I threw the snake into the bushes.
So anyway, I threw it in the bushes.
I pulled out my pocket knife, cut my finger twice, right at the fangs, the spot where I was bit, started sucking the blood. And, I mean, being bit by a snake was no big deal. We've all been bit. I've been bit hundreds of times.
Sure.
Um, anyway, started sucking the blood out of my finger. And within about 5 minutes of being bit, I started falling to the ground.
Yeah, I bet.
And the third time I fell to the ground, I couldn't get back up. And lucky for me, one of the guys I was with was a big 6'3", 230-pound dude that literally just picked me up and threw me over his shoulder. We hiked down to this road, and there were these guys in a Volkswagen Bug, and they were drunk.
So you got the 6'3" guy hauling
Yeah.
you around, and who comes to help you is the drunk dude, the drunk guys in the VW Bug, huh?
So my friend, the big guy, he asked them if they could give me a ride back to the park headquarters. I was up at a place called Sunol Regional Park, and they said, no, we don't want to do that. And my friend literally grabbed the driver, pulled him out of the car, and said, you are going to give my friend a ride back to the park headquarters. And so they obliged. They did.
Okay.
And they drove me back to the park headquarters. The swelling was so bad in my left hand. There was no gap between my fingers. Swelling was all the way down into my arm and into my chest. And because I had sucked the blood, because you have mucous membranes in your mouth,
Yeah, it's
I actually started absorbing the venom
right.
into my mouth, and my head started swelling up like a balloon. And because of the venom, I actually started salivating. amazingly amount of saliva to the point where I was just constantly spitting.
Yeah, your body's probably trying to expel it, huh?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got to the park headquarters. They called. Luckily for me, there was a police helicopter flying by somewhere in the vicinity. They called in this helicopter. The helicopter landed right there in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And they gurneyed me. They strapped me up in a gurney outside of the helicopter, like they did in that TV show MASH.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was outside of the helicopter being flown about 20 miles or so to a place called Hayward.
Whoa, hang on. Okay, I got the gurney part. They didn't put the gurney inside the helicopter.
They
just strapped it to like the step of it.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
So I get to the hospital within 2 hours of being bit by the snake, and the nurse, they're getting me off the helicopter, she asked me if I was allergic to anything. And I said, I think I'm allergic to bee stings.
I would have said rattlesnakes.
And then so she says, well, if you're allergic to bee stings, then you're probably allergic to rattlesnake venom.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I did. Okay. So anyway, they admitted me into the hospital. I was in ER. They started pumping me with anti-venom. I ended up with 7 vials of anti-venom. And they periodically would ask me, are you having a hard time swallowing or anything like that?
Right.
And the bite itself was agonizing. I was moaning and groaning. Mm-hmm. It was not a pleasant experience. And anyway, about an hour after I got to the hospital, I started having a hard time swallowing.
Yeah.
So I went into anaphylactic shock.
The shock, yep.
And then I went into a coma.
Whoa.
I was in a coma for 3 days. I could hear everything. I couldn't see. I couldn't speak. And the only thing that I don't know about the only thing, but my total focus was on inhaling and then to remind myself to exhale. And then again, reminding myself to inhale and then exhale. And I did.
You remember this while you were in your?
Totally remember.
Yeah.
Wow. It was every ounce of effort I had to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that for 3 days. I came out of the coma, and I ended up with a case of hives. I had bumps from the top of my head to the bottoms of my feet, every square inch of my body. And that's sort of basically tells you that there's an allergic reaction going on.
Right.
And they never knew if I was allergic to the venom or the anti-venom.
Mm-hmm.
They do give you, when you get there, they gave me a subcutaneous injection of anti-venom, and they're looking for redness and swelling and things like that. Which
that's just under the skin, like the TB shot that they give you? Yeah.
Yeah. And so anyway, I came out of the coma, had that, went into that case of hives, and I now have some paralysis on my left index finger, probably due to the fact that I cut it to the bone.
Right.
I still see rattlesnakes all over the place. I'm out in the field constantly. Yeah. And it's probably one of the most common snakes that I find. But I don't pick them up anymore.
Okay.
I just take video, take pictures, and say hello and goodbye.
Were you first, I'm glad you survived, and thanks for sharing. That's a wild story. I mean, hanging outside a helicopter on a gurney is
that was the best part of it.
Oh my God. I mean, I'm sure at that point you were whatever the negative version of high and euphoric is, you were on the negative, but I'm sure that it was that helped the helicopter ride or whatever you're going through.
I mean, I had no control over anything that was happening.
Of course.
So I just made the best of it, and it was just another adventure, but it was such a neat experience to be able to fly right over the treetops. Yeah. Be able to look out, from left or right side, and be looking straight up at the propeller or whatever you call it. Yeah, that was the best part of the whole experience, was the ride to the hospital.
Oh, I have a terrible fear of heights. So that would, oh
Oh,
my goodness, I would have been in rough shape. But, were you married at that time?
yes.
How did that conversation go when you got home or when you came out of your
Well, I
coma?
remember when I was in the hospital in the coma. I remember my parents coming in. I couldn't see them. I couldn't
Mhm.
move, but I remember the conversation that they had with the doctor.
Oh,
And
wow.
the doctor told them that the next 36 hours I was critical, and the next 36 hours were going to be very important as far as my recovery. And they just didn't know which way I was going to go
Mm.
because of the way I had been reacting. They were thinking about doing a fasciotomy, where they go in and cut your muscles so that the swelling won't cut off the circulation of,
Oh, right, right.
because
Wow.
that's when you can start losing limbs and fingers and things like that.
Right.
But they
Um,
never had to do that.
I more meant, was there a stern talking to about snakes and such from your wife?
No, I
No.
met my wife I was a vet tech at an animal hospital,
Oh,
and,
cool. Yeah.
and so was she.
Yep.
And we worked with a veterinarian that specialized in exotics.
Mm.
And she knew me for years before we got married. So she knew I was, this sort of just a matter of time before before something like that happened. And I had been freehanding rattlesnakes out in the field before that. It was just that was my last time.
Yeah. Right. Man, Brian, thank you for sharing. I knew you'd have something. I didn't know what I was getting into. And audience, I promise that wasn't staged. That was off the cuff. Just me going, there'll be something there if I ask. So,
Oh yeah.
uh, thank you so very much. Brian, for people that are just meeting you tonight, where can they find you? Where can they follow you? Where can they hang out with you? All of that good stuff this day and age. How can they get a hold of you?
Sure. Well, my phone number is 408-981-6694.
There it
My
is.
email address is fgsnakes at sbcglobal.net. I'm on Instagram almost daily, probably 2 or 3 times a week. I think I have about 600 and something, pieces of content on Instagram, all the way from me herping to doing the educational presentations, checking out my animals. And I'm also on Yelp. I have over 200 reviews on Yelp, and I do have a 5-star rating.
For your for the snake presentations?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Fantastic. That's great. Brian, I hope I get to get out there and come hang out one day. Like I would just I'd sit up on a hill. Maybe there's a outcropping, a little bottle of Napa's finest, and just go hang out. It'd be fantastic. Go over.
So you're going to be at the Tinley show coming up in October.
I'll be at both. Yeah, I'll be at all the Tinleys. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm actually thinking about getting out to Tinley this year. So if and when I do, I'll come by and say hi.
Oh, please do. Please do. I would love that. That would make my day. I hope that you do come out. That'd be fantastic. All right. Well, Brian, thank you for being here. Stick around for just a second in the green room, and I'll tell you thank you another 5 times, but thanks for being here. Audience, go check out Brian, support Brian. You can learn a ton from Brian. I didn't get a chance to sneak it in there, but when I was learning how to probe, I didn't know Brian or who he was at the time, but his video was how I learned how to probe animals. That was the first time that I crossed paths with you, Brian. So, anyhow, very useful, fun content. You can see the kind of guy that he is. So thanks very much, Brian. Next week, I got Wilma Rose coming back on the show. We had a little scheduling snafu just before the holidays, and we ended up just shelving the show and hanging out for a minute. But we're going to do the actual what's new in 2026 for Wilma Rose from Royal Canadian Reptiles next week. So a couple bangers to start off the year. Audience, thank you so much. I couldn't be more thankful and more flattered that you guys come and do this every week. So thanks very much. I will see you guys same place, same time next Tuesday night. See ya. Cheers.